Back in 2019, a friend and I were doing a stream where we watched back some of our old Abridged videos. What we found along the way was that a certain video we had made together, Hiko Mitsurugi style, had been taken down by Sony Music of Japan, who, for some reason, felt that they had the right to copyright strike me for said video. Now this had happened to me several times in the past, and under normal circumstances, what I would have done is probably just re-upload it and be done with the situation. Unfortunately though, I had a few computers between the time that video was made and now, so I no longer had the file available on my hard drive. It took me about a year and a half and tons of research about how YouTube's backend works to figure out how to regain that video, because YouTube's copyright system is somehow even more broken now than it was when I first started abridging in 2008. By the way, YouTube doesn't let you download videos you uploaded and created if they've also been copyright striked. What kind of sense does that make, you may ask? Hell if I know. Anyway, I've been involved in the abridging scene, and the YouTube scene in general, long enough to know that the problem I faced was not at all uncommon. As more and more of my friends have sort of quit the internet over the past few years, it's become increasingly precarious to keep a YouTube channel up, even passively. In fact, digital media as a whole is in danger of extinction, a problem that has been receiving much more attention recently, especially in the gaming sphere. Now, while I preserve everything I do, usually, the danger is that large swaths of the history of the abridging community are going to be deleted just as a matter of course over the next few years. So I've set out to prevent all that by creating a publicly accessible repository for all abridged material, the Abridged Archive. For full disclosure, another member of the community also tried making an archive a few years ago. When I stumbled upon it as I was starting this project over a year ago, he had archived a little over 200 channels, mostly incompletely, and hadn't been updating it since about 2016. I decided it was worth filling in the gaps he had left behind, as well as updating and maintaining a separate archive so that as of this recording, the Abridged Archive holds over 1,200 channels, all of which has been updated to the best of my ability to the current day. By the time this video comes out, that would have been a few days ago. Post-editing sidebar, this video was actually finished 3 weeks after recording rather than 3 days, because it turns out that making a video with a bunch of anime footage is not a great idea for copyright. But I'm also petty and refuse to let YouTube win, so this is the video you got. So I had two focuses in mind when I started this project. The first was to hunt down older series, especially ones whose channels had been left derelict by their creator, and making sure that those got preserved first. I had to use a lot of my own memory from being in the community at that time, but I was also helped greatly by a number of different resources. This included the Abridged Series Wiki, an older abridger named Imfic, whose series This Week/Month in Abridging compiled the names of different series that had come out over that week/month, as well as a number of playlists created by a pair of users named Lumast and RazorFangs94, all of whom had been cataloging the vast number of abridged series since about the year 2009. Finding newer abridgers who are currently active has also been a challenge thanks to YouTube's wonderful algorithm, so I've also been using various Discord servers, namely the Abridgers Lounge, and the servers for Fat Dog Studios and the Schmuck Squads, which has served as hubs for the community in recent years. My second focus has been to turn the Abridged Archive into a thing that isn't just for me and my circle of friends. I think something that preserves history like this should be maintained democratically and represent the interests of the community at large. So over the past year or so, I've been making some connections with other groups within the community or shortly outside of it. The first was with abridgedseries.com, a website created to help catalog and provide metadata for every abridged series ever created. The site is maintained by the folks at The Artifice, an online publication that has created a number of other websites meant for cataloging other forms of endangered media. The second connection has been with the Abridged Series Wiki, which has been, as all wikis do, progressively updating more in-depth information about creators and projects within the community. I've also asked some of my own friends within the community to lend a helping hand, or at least offer some advice. Going forward, I'm officially opening this archive up. If you would like to be involved, there are a bunch of easy and free ways to do so. The simplest way is just to join the archive's Discord or follow the archive's updates on Twitter to keep track of the work we're putting in. But probably the best way you can help the effort is just to let me know if your work is not included in the archive. I'm sure there are a few abridged series I'm still missing. It would be ridiculous to think that I'm not. Otherwise, if you're a currently active abridger or even a lapsed one, you can add your own series as information to abridgedseries.com or the Abridged Series Wiki. Both of these sites have been valuable resources over the past year in tracking down information for me and for this archive. So that is my introduction for the Abridged Archive. I really hope that the archive ends up being a useful service for the community, and I thank you all for watching.